everybody. How are we? Sorry I'm late. Before Suzanne starts going off at me. I was over on Duchess of Carolina's real quick. She's doing her first live and I wanted to support her, and she's covering little Harmony Montgomery, and it is so sad that a 2-year-old little girl can be missing for 2 years, and it takes 2 years before anybody realizes. I'm just trying to send myself an email as I'm speaking to you guys right now, because my friend has ditched me because I'm in ISO, and she's gone to the fabric shop without me, and I am not happy. So she flicked me a message saying, I'm on my way to Kuta. Let me know if you need anything. And I nearly had an anxiety attack because I know there's a range of fabric coming in. Well, it's supposed to be there midweek, and I'm trying to send an email to myself of the photos she just sent me so I can show you guys what we're getting. It is to die for. Absolutely stunning. And I think you guys will love it. Really, is there only one? What the hell? Oh, I get it. Sorry. Where'd she go? So there's separate photos. Okay. I'm with it now. Sorry, guys. I thought it was just one big photo, but it's not. It's 4 separate ones. And I'm also going to send myself. Now I've got to do it again. I won't be a second. 2. She literally just sent them as I'm in the bedroom on the laptop because I just didn't have the energy to get all packed up to go up to the studio. Okay, I've sent those. Let's say hello to everybody. And I'm going to do this professionally today, although I didn't start it off. For anyone that's new, my name's Sharon. We hang out, we chat about different cases, and sometimes we talk about fabric. So welcome, and if anyone watches this on replay, I appreciate just a like and a subscribe if you want to. Now, who have we got in here? We've got Chris, Joanne Tucker. How are you, Joanne? Lip locked. Sunny D. Oh my gosh. I answered your email too, Sunny D. I hope it made sense for you, because it is it's a lot. And I totally understand. The weather today here is really overcast and muggy, humid. And I thought by the time I get set up in the studio and get the aircon to a comfortable, I was just couldn't be bothered. So I thought I'll just come in the bedroom Kitty's gonna recover. Did you have a sick cat? Lip locked. I'm refreshed already, but keeping my commitment to myself to have 2 days off. Yeah, we don't think of ourselves sometimes, do we? A Stitching Crimes here. Hello. How are you? Lip Lock's folding laundry. Yeah, I've got to hang some out. I've been so, like, any little thing has just felt like the biggest task with this wretched bungalowitis. It's crazy. Casey's catching it alive at home instead of just getting off work, eating supper in the car, then eventually driving home. Oh, that's good. You can listen to us while you're driving. Sunny D asks, any recommendations for a beginner's sewing machine, ladies? Genomes are fabulous. Really, they're all pretty good. Brothers, I love Brothers as well. It's never, my brother is never, because I've got like two cheaper ones, and then because my patchwork teacher told me to buy this $4,000 Benina that had everything I needed that I've never used ever. Yeah, I like Brothers and Genomes. They've never let me down, and they have great features. This is so weird sitting in the bedroom. Really crazy. Can you all hear me? I'm way behind in the chat. Hi, Bunda Cheese Man. Storm's here. I know, I was watching them, Suzanne, on a few people I know in Melbourne were Facebook living the storms, and they were pretty vicious. Yes, because you usually do. You usually give me a smart aleck comment for anything I do, Miss Suzanne. Adoption Scams, hello. How are you? You can't wait for that weather. We've been so lucky in Australia this summer. Like, we haven't, oh, touch bloody wood, we haven't had one day that has hit 40 degrees Celsius, where normally we can have anything, 2-3 weeks of it. But normally we will get really intense heat in February before it starts to fade off a little bit. Hi, Lawton Girl. Hi, Glitterazzi. Hurricane. So it's been so mild. The average temperature's sort of been in between 28 and 33 degrees Celsius, and it's just comfortable and lovely. So if the pool was going to go out in any summer like it has, I'm glad it was this summer. Yes, he was bitten by an unknown, and it took 4 days to catch him. Almost sepsis. Very bad wound, but an overnight stay at animal hospital with treatment. He'll be fine. Oh, that's good news, Lip Locked. Poor little guy. Yeah, they can turn that. Hi, Outlaw Trucker. How are you? I was just over there with you guys, but I had to come over to my live or I would have people angry with me because they'd be waiting because I actually scheduled it today. Hi, Penny. Dutchie sent us. Isn't she gorgeous? Outlaw and Duchess are doing a fabulous job. As I was just saying, Dutchie's just done her very first live. So we were all there to support her. You've got a surge at Stitch and Cry. And I'm going to play. I hope it's okay. I asked Duchess Outlaw if it was okay if I played your video, but I wanted to ask you as well, the one on Harmony Montgomery. Oh, good. Penny's going to get some snow. Jackie Jude's here. I love my Juki. It can sew through anything and simple to use. Yeah, you want something that's you know, hardy, all round type machine. Here she is. Here's our Duchess. Hi, Grammy. Kintsugi. Oh, my eyes are itchy as, guys. Getting there slowly, Suzanne says. Wasn't the dreaded C, but return of diabetes, yes. She's got to behave herself and not keep eating those beautiful tarts she bakes. I would hate to test my blood sugar some days, I tell you. Oh my God. I love cheesecake and apple pie and all the things we shouldn't love. Yeah, she's very, very talented, our Duchess. Very thorough with her research and amazing at articulating things as well. She has a voice and intellect to be able to talk about these cases in a professional way, which is amazing. Oh, thank you, Outlaw. Thanks so much. Oh, you got another one getting ready to come on, Hey Penny. My daughter's breeding, well, she's pregnant. They've got golden retriever and she's pregnant at the moment with her first litter. Can you believe it? But these puppies sell in between $4,000 to $6,000 right now. And you know how many puppies golden retrievers have? Like, we're in the wrong business. I've heard about Kenmore's, Jackie Jude, but I've never ever used one. But yeah, I've heard that they're awesome. It's been such a good live stream day. I've seen all my favourites today. Oh, that's good. I'm only like 15 minutes into Pennies, so I've got to catch up with Pennies when I get off. You guys are terrible. You're always talking about food. Now I want cheesecake. I'm sorry, Jackie Jude, but I want cheesecake too. I would love some cheesecake right now.
No.
Hubby just went to get Chinese for lunch. I can grab the link, Outlaw. The next letter will be F1B. Aussie Doodles. What's F1B and F1 Aussie Doodles? Penny? Is that just like the different species of genetics or something? I don't know much about breeding dogs. 12 a litre? Holy crap.
What 12 a litre?
Imagine that. They're going to be busy.
What?
12 puppies.
Thank you. Are they big ones? Are they big ones?
Aussie Doodles.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Like, not huge.
Oh, they're big ones.
Forget it, Cash Apps. Suzanne Sutherland. Forget Cash Apps. Buy 2 breeding dogs. Laughing out loud. Note to Ziggy. Hell no. Keep giving her Cash Apps. I think she's going to struggle with one puppy. Wow. I have laughed so much today. It's good to laugh, isn't it, Penny? We can't be psycho, I don't know, so much in this YouTube world just makes you feel like you're losing your mind. It's good.
Have you on yours now or no?
No, not yet, thanks. And I was over with Chasing earlier. She cut up on the Skyline news guy while she was cooking dinner. That shit was hilarious. I just love Chasing. F1 is half and half. F1B is 75% poodle, 25% Australian Shepherd. Wow. That's awesome. 12 pups could pay the mortgage all year. I reckon they could. Stitching crime. But you're only allowed to breed so many, aren't you, Penny? Like per dog. I'm not sure how it works. There's been some really, really bad puppy farms in New South Wales over the last few years, and the way they abuse these dogs, it is sickening. The conditions they have them in, I don't want to talk about. It makes me really sad. Oh, well, you could hear it the other night. Jackie Jude, she said, Caitlin, you need to come and take this puppy outside. And her daughter's like, no. And all Ziggy goes is, yeah. And I'm like, that puppy's going to be shitting everywhere. They're not going to get off their asses to train it properly. Like, take it outside every single time when it first wakes up. Does anyone really think she's going to do that? Yeah, the novelty will definitely be starting to wear off real soon. Yes, she was. She was cooking Spanish food. I was getting so hungry. Can I email pics, price, etc.? I don't know what you mean, Lawton girl. Yeah, it's got to be ethical. I agree with that. There's so many dodgy ones around. It just poop puppy. Yes. Really, you're getting another one, Suzanne? Um, I'm just trying to. I want to show you guys. Remember yesterday I was talking about little Tegan Skiba. Did anybody go and Google the case and have a look at it? Her story? I don't know. I've always wondered things like that, Sunny D, whether one, like cats, can pass things on to dogs and vice versa. Oh, that's awesome, Penny. A hero discount. What an awesome idea. Really, Jackie Jude? It's like that over here at the moment in Australia, but it's because there's so many people down with the sea that there's no workers to like in the distribution centers. They can't get things sent out on trucks to deliver to the small towns by freight, and it's getting really, really bad. We can't get a lot of meat. So many shelves are empty. It is insane. But they said yesterday that they think we've peaked now. So hopefully. Hi, Miss Justice. How are you? So hopefully now it starts to decrease and things get back to normal. Oh, really, Sunny D? American and Canadian truckers are striking right now. That's all you need on top of everything else, isn't it? You baked bread today? You've already eaten half a loaf. I would too. There's nothing better than home baked bread. While it's still warm, some butter. Good girl, Miss Justice. There's no bullets anywhere, Suzanne. That's crazy. Yeah, it's like in all shops. It's not just supermarkets. It's goods everywhere are just so hard to get hold of. Stitching, yeah, I do. I love the cooking. I just want to show you guys. This lady needs to be now with little Tegan. She was born in 2010, murdered in 2014 by her mum's boyfriend of 6 months. And she went off to do 10-day military training stint. And they were actually living in his grandparents' shed in the backyard. I spoke a little bit about her yesterday. And it really, really got to me when I was watching clips of the court trial. Like, all these cases get to me really bad. But you know how some you just cannot stop thinking about? Like Summers. Oh, that's okay, Lawton girl. No worries. Yeah, I thought that's what you meant about the puppies. So Mum went off to do 10 days military training and left her 4-year-old precious little girl with this guy. I want to show you guys the reaction first of the nurse who was in the ER that received the first look at sweet little Tegan.
Accused of torturing and killing 4-year-old Tegan.
I just got to share the screen because I found this lady, this nurse, she wrapped it up in a nutshell, exactly how I feel about this case, and I take my hat off to her. There should be more people like this lady in the world. This nurse, she is a hero in herself. She's amazing. So we're just going to watch this.
Tegan Skiba. She did more than testify. She showed the courtroom how she stopped the accused killer from getting away. WRL's Brian Mims has been covering this trial and joins us now live from the Johnston County Courthouse. And Brian, today jurors also saw graphic pictures of the girl's injuries.
It was a difficult day for jurors. Several of them could be seen. It was clear that they were troubled by seeing these images displayed on a large screen monitor. One Johnston County investigator testified that it was, in his words, an unbelievable experience to see the extent of the child's wounds, and they were enough to make one nurse fighting mad.
We'll show you these pictures, though not the ones the jury had to see. But just imagine this 4-year-old girl in an emergency room, hooked to a ventilator, pulse faint, eyes barely open, body gashed with cuts, bite marks, bruises. Michael Evans was the ER doctor at Johnston Medical Center the day Tegan Skiba came in with a head injury so severe she had to get to the UNC hospital.
The survivability of that amount of bleeding is very minimal.
Evans said he saw evidence of sexual abuse. Nurse Mary Butler said she saw it too. Then she turned to Jonathan Richardson, the man who brought her in, the man accused of her murder, who was sitting in the ER.
And at that point, I just couldn't take anymore. And so I looked at him. And I said, "Oh my God."
She said Richardson mentioned that he had to move his truck, so he abruptly got up and walked out.
So I took off after him, and I chased him down.
You chased him down?
I was running for everything I was worth.
Butler said she grabbed him at the door down the hall.
I caught him from behind. I caught him by the throat, and I slung him around, and I started pushing him for everything I was worth. I was trying to get him back to the ER.
She even demonstrated her moves on prosecutor Greg Butler. She said she directed Richardson to a room. Fueled by anger and adrenaline, she recalled asking for a gun when uniformed officers arrived.
I didn't want to do what needs to be done right here, right now.
The Johnston County investigator who took the stand read from the statement given by Richardson in which he said he was bipolar and, quote, lost it when Tegan soiled the bed. The 25-year-old could face the death penalty if convicted in this trial that could last several weeks. Testimony resumes tomorrow morning.
Brian Mims live in Johnston County.
Is she not amazing or what, guys? She just... Hi, Joan Spring. Yeah, get him, girl. That's it. That's what I would be like if I would have been on duty. Yeah, exactly, Penny. Fuck around and find out. But the injuries to this baby, she had over 63 huge bite marks on her body. He had ripped out fingernails. there wasn't one part of her body that was not not affected. Like every single piece of her body was. It's just horrific. I'm not gonna. Plus, obviously, the essay. He's just a monster. The mum also was arrested. She got 2 years in jail for virtually not protecting her daughter and leaving her unattended with this monster filth animal. And I think, like, obviously she'd be well and truly out of jail now because it went to trial in 2016. No, 2014. But if I went through so her official death, 66. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Here we go. 66 bite marks.
Dozens of marks all over the body of 4-year-old Tegan Skiba.
Today, a dentist said the teeth marks match John Richardson. WRL's Brian Mims has been following this disturbing trial for us. Brian, the dentist was very clear today about that match.
Yeah, Gerald, but he did stress there's no way to make an exact match with teeth marks. There's always some distortion, but he said Richardson's teeth have distinctive characteristics that were reflected in these marks. He was called to UNC hospitals to examine suspected bite marks on Tegan Skiba, and he was horrified by what he saw.
I immediately said a prayer that she would die.
A prayer that she would die is what he said. That's because the wounds on her body were so extensive and excruciating. Dr. Richard Barbaro is a prominent dentist in Fayetteville. Jonathan Richardson is accused of torturing Tegan for more than a week in 2010 before she died of a major head injury. She'd been staying with him while her mom was out of state. Barbaro said he counted 66 bite marks on the front and back of Tegan's body, many of them extremely severe. He compared a molding of Richardson's teeth with the marks on Tegan and said there was enough of a match that he could not exclude the defendant as the source.
I didn't have one bite mark to look at. I looked at many, many bite marks covering that little girl's body, not one. And those bite marks were good bite marks. We had 6 upper and 6 lower teeth in many cases. In some cases, we had 8 upper and 8 lower teeth. Get called down to Sampson County periodically to help.
During cross-examination, Barbaro said he is a man of high ethical standards and he would not be testifying today if he did not think the bite marks came from the defendant, Jonathan Richardson. We are now entering our 3rd week of testimony from the state. Prosecutors expect their case to extend into next week. So clearly this is a long and emotionally draining trial.
We can certainly understand that. Brian Mims reporting live from Smithfield tonight. Thank you, Brian.
What an asshole. But he's still sitting on death row, guys. It just, yeah, he got the death penalty, Miss Justice. So her official cause of death was blunt force trauma to her head. And it was so significant that it was coming out of her skull, her actual brain matter. Oh my God, Benny Keys is here. Welcome, Benny. Oh, that's so sweet of you. I appreciate you coming over. I know, Duchess, it's just, I've never felt so sick. To rip out this little baby's fingernails. Like, it's complete and utter torture. I want to meet that nurse, Penny. I think she needs to be. I would love to interview that lady. She would be amazing. She did exactly what every single one of us would want to do. And to ask the police officer for his gun, yeah, they should have given it to us, shouldn't they? Oh, do you, Benny? You stay in the back not to cause problems. I know, it's just, I only come across it the other night and it just, I had tears just pouring down my face when they were talking about the individual injuries this gorgeous little girl had. And at the same time, I just wanted to yell and scream at her mother. So why she was left, like the thumbnail, I've said, mamas, keep your babies close, because how many times are we seeing it over and over and over where, women have their babies, get a new boyfriend, and fully from day one trust their new partner with, and not specifically just a male partner. I've seen it like in the last couple of months of last year. There were a couple of cases where it was same-sex relationships and the new partner has done this. But women need to be more careful who they let their babies around. Your baby should be with you all the time, except for when they go to daycare or whatever. Don't trust anybody with your babies. But this guy, she'd only been with him for 6 months, moved straight in with him. She was having an altercation with Harmony's biological dad. So as usual, when there's a conflict between the parents, often the parent who has primary custody will stop the other parent's family from interacting with the child, and they use it as bait, as we all know. So she wasn't talking to bio dad's parents, she was pissed with them. So instead of doing the right thing and for her daughter and reaching out to the grandparents to look after her while she went to do her military training, she leaves them with this guy she's met 6 months before, who she moved in with straight away into a shed in his grandparents' backyard. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. This looks like a good situation for my daughter and I. There was no toilet in there, guys. In the footage I've watched of the trial, when police got the search warrant after she was taken to the ER, the whole shed had human excrement everywhere. Like they were just using the floor and all this sort of stuff for the 10 days that the mother was gone. He never took the little girl into the house for the 10 days. And the grandmother stated that she knew she was there for the first couple of days, but she didn't realise the little girl was there for the whole 10 days. And one time in that 10 days, his grandmother went out there to see if she wanted to come inside and have some cookies and milk. And Jonathan Richardson told the little girl not to open the door, and she wasn't allowed to go out. Like, this is how messed up this piece of work is. Hi, One Eye Open. Very much so. Usually if we have cases, they're very much like what's happened in the last week with Charlize Mutton, in exception of William Tyrrell and the Beaumont girls. There are some long-term missing ones, but most of the time they're sort of solved pretty quickly, aren't they? And it's because we don't have the population of the US either. We don't have as many. But this poor little thing. I just want to get a message out to people to stop trusting. You have to think of everybody as a predator where your kids are concerned. That's not a bad thing, honestly. So many more kids would be alive today if parents did think negatively in that moment and just don't trust people with your kids. You can't. They've got to stop being selfish and thinking about their own contentment with a new partner. Whatever the story is, do not leave your kids alone with these people. Don't introduce them so fast, because it's just not going to stop happening until mums are more protective, dads are more protective of who they let their children's lives be in control of. It's just not on. There is a lot of shady characters involved in Summer's case, but it looks like there's somebody on the case discovering stuff from behind the scenes that nobody knows he's even working on it. There's a lot of shady characters. Really, One Eye Open. I think things are going to happen. Does anyone know, this is not about little Tegan, why the hell were the shares this morning streaming the scanner? Did they think there was something about to happen? My son's 12 and I still make him come into the ladies' room when we are out. No way am I sending him into a men's public restroom alone. Yep, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I totally agree, Jackie Jude. But some women just, I know firsthand experience because my daughter did it with our two granddaughters, with the guy that ended up being a cross-dresser that she met online. You know, they get so infatuated with someone and think, you know, because you have a feeling that this person's the new love of your life. Yeah, let's take our kids to stay there for a week or so. I couldn't believe it. I was livid. You do not do that with your little girls, ever. Jackie Jude says, like I said before, never hang children's print. Yes, you have said that before. In your children's bedroom to advertise to the outside world it's a child's room. And I'd never ever thought of that before, Jackie Jude, before you said that. And it's such a good idea not to do that. And it's shit that we have to even talk about. Yeah, the shares worked, Penny. They did a live this morning with the Hawkins County scanner going. Like they were just sitting there waiting for something to happen. And I thought, what do they know? In Maine for 10 years. A Stitching Crime says a 20-month-old Ayla Reynolds, missing here in Maine for 10 years. This past month was staying with her father, grandmother, sister and girlfriend. Blood found in the house, no body, no arrests. It just blows your mind, doesn't it? Yeah, I never thought about curtains before, but it is pretty true that it is a bit of a signal, especially if your windows face out onto a public street. We've got shutters, so now, but when my kids were little kids, like they had, I know my son definitely had Thomas the Tank. The girls would have had, you know, Disney princesses, all that sort of stuff. Oh, I've never thought of that either, Lawton girl. I know what you mean. Them little stickers on the back window where it says what your family involves. Mum, dad, whatever. Yeah. You can even get dogs and cats and everything now too. And another thing I don't like is with the kids' school shirts. I know in America you guys don't have uniforms, do you? But in Australia, every school has their own uniform. And a lot of schools these days are putting the kids' names on the actual shirts. And I don't like that at all. I just don't think there's a need that the kids need to have their names portrayed, especially if they walk down the street after school, all that sort of thing. Hi, May Hazel. How are you? It's good to see you here. But it's all those sorts of things. Mums need to be suspicious, and dads. Some schools do. Oh, do they? I don't know. I probably watch too much TV. All the TV, although I don't watch TV anymore. Very rarely. Hi, proud Aussie Nan. How are you? Yeah, I don't like it. Names on school bags. I agree. I can understand on their little lunch boxes, things like that. But no. You have to think of everybody as a kidnapper or a predator to keep your kids safe. I can count on one hand as little kids how often my kids had sleepovers at people's houses, just because I've always had that frame of mind. I've always been suspicious. I've always thought of everybody like that because that's how I grew up. And I know what can happen in the big world, even with your own family. We know that's a thing. But for parents who are single, they need to be more careful. Wrap them up in tissue paper. Do not let anyone near them. Will embroidered on his backpack. It was a hand-me-down. Oh, what's wrong, May? I'm a bit teary now because I don't often mention my situation, but otherwise I am doing fine. Glad to catch you live. What's happened, May? You're worrying me, girl. What has happened with you? Are you not well? You don't have to say if you don't want to. You can send me an email. But you know we're always here for you, May. Don't you ever forget it. I usually talk to May in Ziggy's chat, but I've been pretty pissed with Ziggy lately, so I'm not I don't talk in there anymore because I know I'll get beaten down real quick. You have a safe word? And not just for your daughters either. Boys are just as important. All kids. I'm not just talking about little girls. I'm talking about everyone's girls, boys. Yeah, I've told you guys the story about when I was in school in the middle of Sydney in primary school. And I was in 4th class, and one of the girls, so this is in Newtown, which is in a Sydney, and one of the girls went down to the toilet block, and she didn't come back for ages. So the teacher sent another 2 kids down there to make sure she was okay, and she was actually in there and had been stabbed 18 times. And that's in a schoolyard, like in a toilet block. And I think that's when a lot of, I even know here, one child can't go to the toilet to this day. At the girls' school, they have to go in pairs. What did Penny say back up here? Dutchy. Penny says, Dutchy, times aren't the same, but my kids also have medical conditions you kind of have to be pretty educated about to care for them for, so that factors into, yeah. But look what happened like 4 or 5 months ago with I can't think of his name. You know, the little guy, the dad had custody of him, and the dad and the little boy lived with his grandfather, and they thought the little guy had COVID. So the dad left the little boy with his girlfriend for about 10 days, and she had murdered him and put him in a plastic tote and took him to a storage unit complex. Remember that one? And she was on the on the freeway handing out flyers and stuff with the dad and the grandmother, and then she just took off and disappeared. And she rang someone to come pick her up. They went and picked up his remains, and he drove her to a motel. But the little boy had been dead for over a week and stashed in this plastic bin. So it happens by female partners as well as male. The storm that just hit her house. Oh my God, Suzanne. Watching my friend in the storm that just hit her house. It's going to get wild here tonight. It's nothing new. Just some days you feel more emotional about everything. Some days it's just your life. I get that, May. And I hope you feel a bit better. I wish I could make it everything better for you guys. Yeah, and his poor mum. Oh, can you imagine? Letitia Stalk, there's another one. Another female predator. Stepmom. I can't wait for Penny's new series, guys. On Monster Mums, I think it's going to be like, if it seems weird to say you think it's going to be awesome when it's that sort of topic, but I think she will do an awesome job with her content and videos. Yeah, it was in Texas. Yep. And she said, oh my God, in one of the media interviews, she said he loved to call her super mum. Oh my God. And Letitia Stalk was a lot like that too. She praised what she thought Gannon thought of her, like she was the perfect mother. That's how narcissistic these animals are. That is a very selfless thing to do, and it shows how deep your love for her is. I know it must be very difficult. We're always here for you, May. She's flooded. Holy crap, Suzanne. K. Marie Holland's evil witch mother. Yes. Like you could go on and on and on, like when you sit and think about, even just in the last couple of years, without going back. It makes you sick to your stomach. Today, her attorney tried to get a lot thrown out, and the judge denied all of it. Oh, good. She's going to go insanity for sure, Letitia. At the end of the day, that's what we want. Much love to you. Yes, you always get lots of love over here, May. He did not call. No. But why do they do that, Penny? Like, honestly, why do they feel the need to praise themselves and put themselves on a pedestal, knowing full well that what they've done is that was a lie, the behavioural panel said so, yeah. But they all do it. They're so good at saying how wonderful they are and that the child just adored them. Like building their own narrative so people believe that they're the perfect parent. Dutchie is new top mod. For all that needed at the moment. Yes, thanks, Twiggy. I'm sure we could all use that, especially May today. It's crazy, isn't it? But this poor little one, look at her. On this guy, I have to show you this guy. the most horrifying injuries he's ever seen.
A deputy testifying today in the trial for a man accused of torturing a 4-year-old girl was overcome with emotion. Hello, I'm Jackie Hyland.
And I'm David Crabtree. Deborah Morgan has the evening off. The deputy described the girl's injuries as the most horrifying thing he has ever seen. This is the second time in Jonathan Richardson's trial an officer has broken down during testimony. Richardson is accused of killing Tegan Skiba in July of 2010. Brian Mims endured the emotional testimony, and Brian joins us live from the courthouse with what was heard today. Brian?
David, this deputy is now with the Wake County Sheriff's Office. This is the 8th day of testimony in the case against the man charged with killing his girlfriend's daughter. We have heard from doctors, detectives, investigators, all of whom have visibly struggled with the details of this case.
I then went to the room where Tegan was located.
By that moment, Matt Da Silva had worn a badge for 14 years. He was a detective for the Johnston County Sheriff's Office in July 2010. He'd been called to UNC Children's Hospital. On the stand now, he knew what he had to do. Remember that moment. Describe it.
I observed numerous cuts.
He talks about bite marks on 4-year-old Tegan Skiba and burn marks and signs of sexual abuse. Nothing could prepare him for that moment.
I just couldn't bear to look at it anymore, and I asked him to stop.
You asked the doctor to stop?
I asked the doctor to stop. I told him that was enough. I couldn't look at it. I couldn't bear it to see it anymore.
Now, on the stand, the tears come. The jury is asked to leave. The prosecutor asked Da Silva again about that moment.
It immediately brought tears to my eyes. It's the most horrifying thing I've ever seen done to a human being, especially a child. Never seen anything like that in the years that I've been doing this as a law enforcement officer.
During the break, Jonathan Richardson, accused of torturing and murdering the child, often smiles. When the jurors returned, Da Silva says Richardson made a curious remark after his arrest.
What are y'all going to do? Tie me down and cut me up? He just looked right straight at me and just had like a slight little grin on his face.
Earlier today, a CSI investigator was on the stand reading a love letter written by Tegan's mom to Richardson. She was out of town when all this happened. She wrote that he was a man of strong character and, quote, taught me so much. Testimony resumes in the morning, David.
Brian Mims reporting live in Smithfield. Brian, thank you.
Poor baby. It's just not okay, guys. Yeah, I did find the document that lists all the injuries, and I don't think we need to go through them, to be honest. It's too much. But with the reaction of the nurse and the deputy, and even the reaction to the judge in the courtroom, and the fact that the guy's now sitting on death row, says it all as to how bad this case was. Is that the one the nurse said she was going to get her gun? Yes, she asked the police officer, Josie, for his gun so she could. Oh, Can you imagine being in that position, working in an ER? I would be exactly the same. I would be locked up. Her to then brought her. I know. But they, in the court trial, Penny, they tried to portray that that's how he was brought up and he was abused, and the way he abused the little girl was his normal because that's how he grew up and that's the way his parents treated him. That was his defense. So the prosecutors did rip that apart though. And like, how many people are abused as children and have shitty childhoods? They still know in this day and age what is right and wrong, what's okay and what's not okay. But yeah, that's how his defense team went. They tried to blame it on his normal. This is what he thinks is parenting because this is the way he was brought up. And it took, yeah, I will add, when the trial finished and the jury went to deliberate, it took them an hour and a half to come back with a verdict. An hour and a half. Look, I don't understand why it takes so long on death row. I know there's appeals and all of that sort of stuff, but some of these cases, the amount of money it's costing to keep these grubs alive, hell no. Get rid of them now. Oh, sorry, Sunny D. You're fine, Sunny. I hope I didn't upset you. Yeah, they did find Gannon Lawton girl. He was found in a suitcase beside and under an overpass on a freeway. It's just sickening. You hadn't heard about this until now? I'd never heard of this case until 2 nights ago. And I've just been reading and watching everything I could on it to try and, if it makes one mother, if one young mum can see this video and think twice next time she decides to leave her child or children with someone she doesn't know very well, I would be happy. Oh, I would love to be on a jury too, Jackie Jude. But we need to be more careful, more protective, less trusting. In the perfect world, we can trust everyone. But it's not a perfect world, and it's getting worse. She was a school teacher, Josie. Letitia wasn't the mother. Do you mean of Gannon, Josie? Gannon's stepmom was a school teacher. I know her daughter was in the military, I think. And I think her husband was. Gannon's dad. Yeah, stuffed in a suitcase off the freeway. Yep. I really don't know, Suzanne. It's obviously some sort of... But his defense team also tried to go with the bipolar, mental health angle as well, but he'd never been diagnosed with anything. Like just a joke. I don't get it. But at least he's on death row. I'm going to try and find out if there's an actual date for his execution, because that's 8 years he's been on death row. He needs to be gone already. It's just crazy, isn't it? And this little harmony I'm going to play, it actually costs more to put a man to death than life imprisonment. With all the appeals and stuff during spring. And when they're on death row, they're in solitary, aren't they? Like they're never ever in another cell with anybody else. They're by themselves all the time. Does anyone know if that's true? Yeah, that's it, Dutchie. Yeah, I knew Tegan's mum went to do military training. That's why she left Tegan with Jonathan Richardson's care. Hell no. There is no way known I could leave my daughter with someone I'd only known for 6 months. He does need to get gone, Suzanne. Crazy. And Outlaw and Dutchie said we can play their video. Yep, that's her. Did you see the nurse, Dutchie? I wouldn't mess with her. You've been on 2 jury cases, May Hazel. In one we felt we had decided too quickly, so went over the points again to take up time. We weren't going to change our minds. It wasn't just to show we were diligent. Yeah. I think it'd be like an awesome experience to sit on a jury. I don't know if I would want to do it on a case like this, because there would be things you would see you would never forget. Yeah, they are. That's what I thought too, Suzanne. They're in a single cell and they probably have it better there than they do in general population. If the truth be known. Who knows? There is a series on Netflix. I might have a little watch of that later, because it's individual stories of different inmates that are currently on death row and what it's like. Yeah, I think it was only like a week after. It was in the first week I started following Gannon's too, Casey. That lie which can rot. Hopefully the trial gets over with quickly. One can hope for Landon's sake. Yeah. I have Landon on Facebook. And I have Cash Gurnan's family on Facebook now too. They're awesome. I sort of connected with them through John Crime's Ace Candle channel. And they're just so lovely. I almost had a nervous breakdown today. I was waiting for my son to get off the bus and he never got off. The school never called me to tell me he had to stay after for detention. Oh my God. So how does that work, Jackie Jude? Do you now have to drive? Did you then have to drive to pick him up? It's a wonder they're allowed to do that when they're bus kids. They are always in solitary. Joan Spring says, with our death row question, they are always in solitary cells, but they are usually on a row with other men, and the appeals process in the United States is crazy and dysfunctional. Is the rest of our justice system. Yeah, I know it takes like years and years and years. She thinks she's a rock star. And the Megan Boswell case must be coming up soon. I think it's March. I don't think I'm going to get there though. I'm surprised that Letitia Stalk hasn't done a Laurie Vallow in getting herself. You know how Laurie is in a mental facility pending her mental competence to stand trial? I'm surprised Letitia hasn't been able to pull that off with all her fun and games. Yeah, I can't believe they didn't let Jackie know. I'm with you, May Hazel, on that one. He forgot to have 2 sharpened pencils. You're kidding me. That's why he got detention? Holy crap. So that teacher was having a bad day? Took it out on your son? Holy crap. Yeah, like how are you, Susan Matthews? I totally get it. And I think that's what's always not intrigued. I don't understand how people get to a point of committing these crimes psychologically. Like they have to be insane to be able to do something like this, especially to children. But in the same token, they're not. It's that the whole cycle, it's not what they've actually, the blood and all of that side of it doesn't interest me. It's how the brain gets to a point where they think, I'm going to do this. This sounds like a plan. How do you get to that point? Take a book. Yeah, if you watch the trial, I've watched, just in the last week, I've watched the Lynley Rennick trial on Law and Crime Network, and they're pretty good because they never used to, but lately they seem to be editing out all the, the wait times and all that sort of stuff. So you're not just sitting there for an hour waiting for the jury to come take their seats or whatever. Not for lack of trying, her antics look ridiculous, not crazy. Yeah, you can tell the difference. Well, I don't think Laurie's crazy either. She might be brainwashed, but she's not. She knew exactly what she was doing as well. I'm legally crazy and I have never killed anyone, and I'm also a veteran from the army. Just saying. Good for you, Sunny D. Not when you do finally get on a jury, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be sitting there reading a book. I've got to check this phone. See if this girl is getting our fabric, guys. And then hang on. I'll show you the photos. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. The Megan Boswell case is going to be interesting. And I hope. Okay, we've got that one. I'm just getting these photos up so I can show you guys. You're gonna love them. Hi, Kiwi Nana. I think Letitia didn't premeditate. I think she went too far, and I heard it in that audio of Gannon voice she released. I knew he was in trouble as soon as I heard it. Yeah. Yeah, she just snapped. Didn't she? Like, I know what it's... I think we've all been in a position where your kids can push your buttons and all that sort of thing. Oh, bugger. Oh, it's not bugger. We can't get them today. That's the only thing. I've given her a list, and we can't get them picked up today because the Sonia, who is the shop owner, has to do the unpacking and pricing. There's just a fill-in lady there today, but that's okay because I'll be out of lockdown next Wednesday, so I'll go over next Friday and get them. But I'll show you guys. Share screen. They're actually from an Australian designer called Michelle Yeo. Can I not make that bigger? Look. Go down. See, these are big, beautiful birds. I love these ones. Now, we're going to go back to these other ones. Aren't they gorgeous? See the birds? They will make the most beautiful centers. More birds. Can you see the birds as a center? And then, oh my God, I've already got ideas in my head. Not the yellow, I know, Suzanne. They are very pretty. Suzanne doesn't like yellow people. They are beautiful. Hey, Penny. Oh, cool. Penny's going to cover Do you mean Letitia Stalk, Duchess? Oh, Susan Smith. Holy crap, that one. I tell you guys, another one that really, really, really got to me is the Campion lady. Has anyone heard of her? Who taught you how to quilt? I've always sewed, Jackie Jude, and like I used to make all the kids' pajamas and tracksuits and all that sort of stuff when they were little, and as in the stretch sewing type stuff. And when I found out I had lymphoma, I wanted to make heirlooms to leave my kids because I'd watched the movie Stepmom, and Julia Roberts was the stepmom in that movie, and the biological mum was the mum who was dying, and she also wanted to leave heirlooms for her kids. This is where I got the idea from with the quilts, because as that's what the bio mum did in the movie. She made quilts for her 2 kids before she passed away. So I wanted to do that. So I went to our local patchwork shop and did some classes and got all my supplies, and I've never ever stopped. So Layla was only 4 months old when that happened, like when I went to the patchwork shop. So 12 years I've been doing it now. What's the print on the dark one? We'll have a look. It's just like a little floral. It's a dark blue like check, and it's got that pastel-y blue, sort of a little bit like a pale turquoisey flower on it. They'll fussy cut out good, Miss Justice. Miss Blue and Purple. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. Miss Duchess is purple and blues she loves. Do you like the bird, Miss Justice? Miss Duchess. Miss Justice. My God. You love it? You love the bluebird? Okay. We'll have to start on yours now. Suzanne, don't. She's going to start harassing. Can't kill weeds. That's it. You can't kill weeds. That's my motto. Do you have a good memory? You do have a good memory. Sometimes. With things like that, I do. But common sense things like I've got to do certain things tomorrow, I'll forget every single day. Things like that, I'm hopeless. But yeah, if it's to do with something I'm really interested in, yes, you ladies have inspired me. This year I will start sewing. Great job, Sunny D. We might do some work on the machine tomorrow on a live on the other channel. Oh, you're making your dream catchers. You like the teals and the pinks? Let's go back and look at the pinks. I thought they were to die for. Look at them. Oh my God, I love them. Like that is just heaven to me with all that pink. We can do a couple of lives, Sunny D, with doing like a jelly roll race quilt. Have you ever done one of them? With a jelly roll? Yeah, the teals and the pinks. But there's yellow in there, Suzanne. Yeah, there's inspiration everywhere. That's what I love about technology, Twiggy, is the amount of resources out there nowadays. Like Facebook groups. Yeah, you're right, Twiggy. There's so much. Where are you, Sunny D? Like in the big wide world. I've still got to post out these fabrics to you guys when I can get out of this house. Twiggy says, yes. Can we do a jelly roll? I have a really ugly jelly roll to use. Laughing out loud. Absolutely, we can. I've got a few up there. We can do that tomorrow. You sewed for years, Casey? They're just like some quilts you make, they're just to use, like you throw on the lounge or whatever, you know, but there are special ones that you make that you don't use, sort of thing. And they're the ones I call heirloom ones, because you don't want them to get worn out or damaged in any way, and you want to pass them down. Your hubby sews, Duchess? He was an upholsterer for many years. His mother made clothes and drapes. He still sews on her machine. That is awesome. There's so many talented male long arm quilters in the US too. I follow a few of them on Facebook. Penny's off to bed. Good night, Penny. We love you. Can you thank Benny for coming in and saying hi? That really made my day. I appreciate that. After I got abused the other day off a certain little person for saying hi, Benny, in chat. I don't think I'll ever get over that. Like, I was just like, what is your problem? Can you post your sewing channel? Well, Miss Justice, I could, but I sort of changed the name to it the other day when I was upset. Hang on. You're going to laugh. Hang on. I'm getting there. So what I did, when I was having a moment the other day, I changed everything. But I'm going to change it back. So I don't know if this is the link to it. But when I get off here, where is it? No, that's not even it. Come back here. Okay, here it is. I'll copy that. And I'll put it in here. But I went undercover. I'll just say that. But when I finish this live, I will put it back to what it was. Because I was trying to do a few things without people realizing I was down under. And I changed the name and privated everything on there. But I'll put it all back when I get off. So that's the link for that one that will be back to its normal schedule. Yeah, do you like the little picture? If you click on it and have a look. The little profile pic was of Molly shoving a mouthful of cake, a forkful of cake in her mouth. Storm past. Oh, that's good, Suzanne. You keep safe, girl. Been there, done that. It's funny, isn't it? Well, sometimes you just can't be yourself because you know they're going to come and hate on you because you've said something. And I was right yesterday, you guys. Remember yesterday I said, I can guarantee you what's going to happen with my channel today while I'm live. It happened. I got 3 subscribers and lost 6. We need ideas. Sharon, were you out trolling? Oh, sort of. I think I was a stitch in crime. Sunny D was subscribed. Oh my God. Well, it was the only photo I had on my phone that wouldn't give away who I was because I was undercover. So my cover's blown now. I see Sharon everywhere. I know. I can't help myself. I don't want to miss anything. But because I was outspoken about a couple of things, you know, you have to pay the consequences. I can't help myself either. Well, what would be the point of coming on YouTube and having a channel if you were going to filter every thought that come into your brain? That's the way I look at it. Like, if you're not going to be exactly who you are, whose chat did you get called out for you saying it to Benny? I was in Benny's chat. Penny? I went into Benny's chat and I've got a screenshot of it too. I swear to God, I woke up. I do it in every single chat I go into. I'll say hi to the creator and chat. And that's what I did. And it would not have been 15 seconds later. I got a DM through Discord. You need to grow a fucking backbone. Good to see whose ass you're up. And I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? And I was that sort of stunned. I sat there looking at it for a minute, and then as I'm typing to reply, they blocked me. And I thought, good, I do not need you in my life. No, I get that, Sunny D. From what I hear, people have so many stock accounts. Who called you out? Luca Viga. I have the screenshot. She was very, very horrible. Luca Viga. And I know a lot of creators have had problems with her. Although I don't and haven't always sort of took a lot of notice of her, firstly, I don't think half of what she says is like she's sort of on the same planet as Gigi to me. So it's not someone that I'm sad that I've now learnt what she's like type thing. But yeah, she's never come for me like that before. But I do know she does do it to people. But yeah, just because I said hi, Benny, in chat, she was straight onto it. Like, I cannot believe how quickly it happened. Is that person a woman or a man? I think she's female, Jackie Jude. Oh my God. She's been on my channel and been on panels and stuff. But she's very, very opinionated with her narrative and whoever she supports. And if you don't go with her thoughts, then you're a shit person. And that's not how I work. I'm happy. Like, I'm like a sponge. I want to hear everything. Tell me all the things. Like, I want to know what everyone thinks about everything to do with Summer's case. Because everyone has their own perspective, and you can learn and network and pick up things for further thought. Why should we be hunted down like criminals? Because firstly, I don't get up here and throw shade and be disgusting and horrible and accuse anybody of murdering Summer. We all have our thoughts and our theories, but I don't think it's okay to publicly convict these people without evidence. When charges have been laid, that's different. But if I was in their position and I was innocent and I was living with what they live with, oh my God, could you imagine? And that's the way my brain works. She would have had to have been there, stalker watching, to have seen you there. Yeah, absolutely, Penny. And because I've been really open with being proud of the direction that Benny's going in, and I'm not a super fan with everything he says, but I love the way Penny's guiding him and supporting him. And, you know, she's sort of brought him down from this huge hyper mess where now it's easier to understand where he's going with different things, if that makes sense. And I, as well as each of you, will go into anybody's channel that you want to. And you shouldn't have to feel like you're doing the wrong thing and you don't want to be seen. That's not okay. You're a super fan of Benny. Look, you, Grammy, 6 months ago, I can remember you messaged me and you said, I hope it's okay. I'll never forget this. You were the first person to ever do it. And you said, I hope it's okay with you, but I'm a supporter of Benny and I just wanted you to know from me, you know. And my response is very much what I'm saying right now, isn't it, Grammy? I do not have an opinion on any channel that any of my subs visit. We can all do exactly what we want to do and support who we want to do. Oh, you really haven't you had anything to do with her, Luca, Duchess? I first met her in AB's Discord, I think. And then she used to be in Nita's chat all the time. Then they had a falling out for a bit. I think she's had a falling out with just about every creator, because she had a falling out with Ziggy and told me not to go anywhere near Ziggy because Ziggy was bad news. And she used to mod for Ziggy, this Luca Vega, way back, like a whole 2 months ago or whatever it was. Then she did something to Ziggy and Ziggy got pissed, so Ziggy unmodded her. But now she's back with Ziggy again, not as a mod, just as a supporter, because she just goes around and as soon as the creators don't go with what she thinks, she'll dump them and do what she did to me the other day. But if they change their mind, she'll go groveling back. Oh, I'm really sorry I did that. I'm like, no, bitch. No second chances with me. Not with something that horrible. Like, get a fucking backbone and all that. There's no need to speak to someone like that because they've gone into someone's chat and said, hi, Benny in chat. Are you for real? That's like demented and so defensive and aggressive because I said hi in a chat. Girl, you need some help. I understand having a sock account for chat if you have a channel and you just want to chill. I don't understand creators who have hidden channels. I feel you should own your content if you put it out. Yeah. Yeah, there was just a couple of channels I thought would cause more drama than necessary if I went in as me. And this is like 2 weeks ago. That's the only reason I made a little, I didn't make it, I just changed it. I'm not turning him into anything or changing him. He is grown and he is very responsive to positive and constructive conversations. Yeah, that's exactly right, Penny. I don't mean you're changing him. I mean you're just sort of supporting, and you know what I mean. I think when you guys are live together, I think you bring out the best in him. I'll say that. He's more grounded, more, he concentrates more. It's more informative. But that one the other day, Penny, with the teeth, oh my God. I think that's the one when that happened with Luca Vega. Was that live? I'm pretty sure. The teeth one. But I don't create anything, so I guess there might be things I don't understand. Yeah, sometimes it's just... I apologized to Ziggy once, and then, well, so many things happened. I won't apologize again. No, well, I let the first kerfuffle slide for me too, Leah Weston. Remember with the donation I gave her when she was moving out and all of that? I sort of thought what went on there was the lowest ever, when she then went and told AB and TM to just block me. But then I thought, oh, look, it's just so petty, it's not worth worrying about. But there's too many red flags over and over and over again with her now. I just don't. I think she needs supervision, to be honest, because I feel like something is coming. If she doesn't try and be a little bit more careful, she is going to go and talk to somebody like Fred Hill and suck up to them to get them talking, then run back to her little live and bash them like she does, and somebody's not going to like it, and they're going to go for her in a real way. And to me, that's reckless when you've got a child under your roof. Well, it's reckless even if there isn't a child there. But she's asking for trouble. Kiwi Nana says, my intro to Benny was when he and CM lost their channel, so I stay away. Who needs the drama? Happy to come here with my Aussie neighbours and catch up. Oh, that's so lovely, Kiwi Nana. Look, I get it, what you're saying. I'll be the first to say, when Benny was first got with Doug and stuff like that, he was a loose cannon. But I think he has a lot to offer if he's focused. And he's very, very passionate as well. Grandma says she's not a fan of Ziggy and never have been, but I don't hate her. I just think she lies too much. Yes, I don't respect people who outright lie to me, let alone another 1,000 people. But look how many of them don't give a shit. They just don't care. They still, same with MGL. I don't understand how they still idolize people that are proven to be shady. Now, you probably don't, Sunny D. You probably don't need to worry about half the shit that goes on in some of these channels. Yeah, very reckless. But if someone on YouTube can find out your real name and address and everything else, anybody can. And like the whole puppy thing, I felt like she did that so badly. Then to go on talking about that boy that was in her care on that trip, my blood was just boiling with that. she thinks it's okay to go live and call the boy that she's taken away on a trip a kleptomaniac, and he has phobias about bed bugs. But you know the funniest bit of that whole trip? After she bagged him out 2 nights in a row on 2 different lives, they're driving back home to where they live, and the boy spewed all through her car. And I'm sorry, but I laughed my head off. And I thought, well, that's the first little bit of karma. Whose life with the teeth, Penny or Benny? I think it was Benny's. It was definitely Benny's because I was in Benny's chat, Miss Justice. We as subs don't know all of it. Thank God for that. Yeah, that's true. But did you guys see how it's so cute? Levi D, he's like the channel protector. He's like Ziggy's security chief. Because soon as Ernie Shell started on her panel yesterday, who jumped straight up there in defensive mode, like hubby has arrived, and gets rid of Ernie Shell, Levi D. And I was like, oh my God, this is too funny. It really was so obvious. Calling out Jodie Sue on Precogni's live. She sounds like my mom. Aww. Touches of Carolina. Plus she was speeding. Yeah, 20 k's over the speed limit with 3 kids in the car. Oh, Kiwi Nana just met Twiggy. The difference, and that's what you enjoy. Yeah. Yeah, I like Levi. I think he's good value at times. Oh, I don't know if he was drunk last night, Leah Weston. But it was just cute the way he's come to defend the panel against Ernie Shell. Tonight I got caught rushing to save her puppy. Clickbait victim. She and chat are telling us to grow up. Just joking. That's stupid. Telling me I need a sense of humor. Really, Laurie? Telling us to grow up. Yeah, it's a little bit crazy. Yeah, she did. I do remember that, Grammy. Yeah, he did do that, Penny, last night on her live. He goes up on panel with like really dominant, stern type bravado, you know? And he's asking Ernie, well, what happened to this and what happened to that? And, you know, more or less, Big Daddy's here now. Look out, Ernie Shell. I was sitting there pissing myself laughing. Sharon Reed, my comment above about Zed Dog and chocolate. Yeah, apparently that was all made up. Ziggy tried to say last night that the chocolate thing was all made up and wasn't true. Everyone lies. Penny would know. At Laurie, what was the title? Ziggy's last one. I think I'm having a look, Penny. Just the receipts apparently noticed at first, because she did a community post wanting to know if anyone else caught it as well. Her current live is called Chocolate is Athena's Favourite Food, and she loves to wash it down with Diet Coke. Like, this is the mentality of this nutter. And she thinks it's funny. My God. Do you know what I mean? Like, she wonders why people, like, I know she does it for attention and her views, because she knows people are going to be pissed with her. But how is that even half amusing when she's baiting people with the well-being of the pup? 1 foot nailed to the floor to keep me out of Ziggy's. But that's definitely what it's called, Penny. I'll read it again because I can't believe she's put it up there. Chocolate is Athena's favourite food, and she loves to wash it down with Diet Coke. My God. 40-year-old body, yep. If you unsub, you won't ever know when she's live, and you won't get clickbaited. I'm stingy with my subs. I refuse to sub to certain people. If someone wants me to go there, I need a link and the timestamp. Yeah. I get that too, Penny. Kiwi Nana says, I agree, May Hazel. I do love to hear views different to my own, but I think I show my age when some creators become a little too loose and lower their standards. Yeah. We're all so different, aren't we? Yeah, that's not okay. That's just trying to get people stirred up again about the puppy, in my opinion. Like, she's going to keep using the puppy, the clickbait, till the end of its life, I'm sure. That was the whole purpose of getting the puppy. She is getting the title from comments people have left. If you think that you need telling not to give a dog chocolate and Coke, then why not laugh? I just don't think any of it is... I don't know. If someone else has said it, why make it your thumbnail? You believe the puppy is a trophy? Yeah, each to their own, May. It's a gorgeous little thing. Yeah, exactly. I agree, Suzanne. like a serial killer trophy. Yeah. Anyway, I better go and see what the rest of the house is up to and do some more on Suzanne's quilt. Penny Amber. Oh, okay, so just the receipts. Did just the receipts do a video on the chocolate now? I knew she had a community post out. I don't know. I just don't get it. Anyway, she will thanks, May, for coming in and spending some time with us. Do you love the pink fabrics or the blues? We'll get back to our fabrics. Later, everyone. Have a nice rest of your day or night. Duchess, we're like that too. But we can't, because they're both boys, we can't have them back in. We can't have them both inside at the same time. They're too naughty. Is Missy doing okay, Sharon? Oh, did you, Suzanne? I didn't see it. Yeah, she said this morning she feels really good. And I feel pretty good as well. It's just the stuffed up sort of head, which is good. I'm glad. No fevers or anything. But thanks everyone for coming in. All of them. You love all of them, Sunny D. I think Miss Justice. You're going to bed for real this time, Penny. Good night. It's 3 p.m. here, so I'll still be awake when you wake up. It happens every night. It's really cute. Just as I'm starting to tire down, all the American girls are waking up. And they wake up early, like super early. 4:30 a.m. Like, what? Bye, Twiggy. Okay, guys, I'll be back tomorrow and we'll do some stuff on the machine on the other channel. I'll now go back and restore the other channel to what it's supposed to be. But thanks, mods. Thanks, guys, for coming in. Yeah, have a great night, morning, wherever you are. Bye.